Now, as far as music theory goes, I recommend after you got your notes down on your guitar, really good. You want to keep working on that, by the way. But the next step, I would recommend a very humble scale called C major. It's pretty humble. It came, as far as I understand, the ancient Greeks kind of settled on the major scale as kind of the foundation of whatever they were doing. And the Romans conquered ancient Greece, took their scale, and then they spread it out through Europe through the church. And that is why we base our music off of this scale, the C major scale. So if you understand that, we're ready to, you can warp it and make it sound not so churchy, but you gotta make it sound nice and solid. You gotta know that C major scale. So it's like I say, it's very humble. It's very simple. It sounds kind of like a nursery rhyme. It's your do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do scale, like this. All right, and those notes are C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. I'm on the second string here. I could start on any string, but I decided that would be a good one because you can find the C on the second string, first fret, C. That's a whole step to D, a whole step to E, half step to F, whole step to G, whole step to A, whole step to B, half step to C. Kind of gives me a headache, but this is what you got to be able to say. Whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. Which sounds absurd. I always said, hey man, I don't want no part of that. Take that somewhere else. But after teaching guitar for some 40 years, I accept that is not going to do us any harm to be able to say whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. Say it with me. Whole step, half step, whole step, half step. And that sounds like this. That's ascending from low to high. Descending would be like this. And if you mess it up, you should really train your ear to tell the difference. Let's say you're like, hey man, I'm kind of an edgy rock and roll dude, and I don't really do that stuff. I'm just kind of an artist, and I can't be contained within a box. All right, I accept that, but you still need this. So let's say you're like, hey man, take that scale somewhere else. Okay, then you're gonna, oops, whoops. I don't understand how to play in key. What do you mean key of C? I don't get it. I don't understand. Okay. That's where you're going to be. If you don't follow along with what I'm saying here, you got to nail it. So it's just the alphabet from C to C. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Only you start on C. C, 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 D, E, F, G, A, B, C. All right, that's one way to do it. And really, I could spend all day on C major. Let's go to this string, the A string, 3rd fret. Do the same kind of sound. Eventually, you'll be able to. you'll be able to make up more interesting exercises. So I'm just making stuff up here. I don't really have a plan for this discussion. I'm just letting it flow. Okay, so that's on one string. Let's do a different string. Let's start on the 3rd string, 5th fret. Or 1st string, 8th fret. Or 6th string, 8th fret. Or 4th string, 10th fret. Alright. Well, let me just do it one more time. I'm going to do the whole neck, all 6 strings. Just another way to do it. Or you could play a lick like a... Oops. You could do a lot of stuff with a C major scale. Or you could do... I might have lost some of you there, but that's where you end up with C major. Remember, there's going to be 12 keys, but C major is a nice key because there's no sharps or flats, so it's manageable. That would be the white keys on the piano. No black keys. Those are your sharps and flats. So C major scale is just C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. You got to find it all over your guitar. I'm going to try it with my eyes closed. No peeking. That's a C sharp. There we go. Mistake. No peeking. That's not right. Mistakes. That's not a nice thing about guitar. If you make a mistake, usually nobody gets hurt too bad. All right. So dig in on your C major scale. How will you do it? It's going to sound different than the way I do it. That's good. Move around. One little point. The low E is part of the C major scale. You'd think, hey man, that's an E, key of E. Well, yeah, but it's also the 3rd note of a C major scale. Let me just end this ramble. After you start working on this scale, you got to know we number those notes. And these are called the intervals of the scale. So interval I think of as a space. But the intervals are going to be the building blocks we're going to use to build chords, scales, harmonies, arpeggios, melodies, and we use them to describe chord progressions, among other things. I'm sure there's chapters of other things we can do with them. But as far as me being just a bar scum guitar player, that's all I ever really wanted to be. Knowing these intervals is going to allow you to construct anything you need. And so the intervals are this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which refers, 8 is octave, like octagon or octopus. 8. So 1 is our root. 1, 2 is D. 3 is E. F is our 4th. That's our 5th is G. Our 6th is A. Our 7th is B. And our 8 is C again. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And so, yeah, we're going to use that to build chords, scales, arpeggios. Everything's going to come back to that. So, you know, this may be different than what you were thinking it's going to be, but this is totally true. Counting the notes of the scale are going to pay off big time. Took me a while to understand that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. right, we'll add more to that. Make sure you got that C major scale down and you'll be doing fine.